All right, game kicking underway for map number 2. Now, I actually didn't realize I got some personal donations during the stream, so I just want to read out these 2 to get caught up. I hope both of you are still around, and I'm super sorry for missing it. I actually don't have this open because I don't expect this most of the time. So thank you to Robathari. He donated $5 about an hour ago, and he said, if cats could speak to us, they probably wouldn't. Nerf Protoss. And then Big Tobacco 12 donates $5 and says, my baloney has a first name, it's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name, it's M-A-Y-E-R. Also Nerf Zerg. And people are donating more because we got our tax return money. Ah, that's a good point. we were discussing this earlier today as well. Didn't think about it. But okay, game number 2 underway. Ravi, hit us up with both these intros since you love both these players.
All right, spawning up here in the top side of the map, we have the red Protoss player. Goes by his actual name. It is Flipside Tactics Bales.
Wait, that's his real life name?
It's Bailey. It's basically his real name.
Oh, okay.
In the bottom side, we have the orange Protoss player. Loves to draw hearts with his scouts. Give it up for HuK.
Now he's actually scouting.
I know, that's why I mentioned that.
Well, it's not just that, but I mean, this is a full wall off. All kinds of red flags get raised with this because, well, they didn't come into effect. He knew about the Dark Shrine by the end of that game, and Bales has proxied a building across the map.
Yeah. Some Protosses have been walling off, even if they're going for a Nexus afterwards anyways, just because the amount of adept run bys can still be very strong, and you do deny the scouting. Whether or not it's for, you know, a Stargate or not is well, up to the other player to guess, basically. But HuK is taking no chances and immediately scouts this. This is not a very common proxy position, but he checks it, so...
Yeah, and you know what the nice thing is? I don't think he got close enough to let Bales know that he checked it either. Because if that probe had walked up to the pylon, this may have well just gotten canceled. So HuK almost, I feel, wanting to bait this a little bit. The probe does realize that he scouted this, so maybe not.
Yeah, I really like the fact that HuK is he's being really adamant about moving back in and re-scouting it to make sure that the Stargate wasn't canceled, to make sure that he knows that there's an Oracle coming, or, you know, if it's even going to be something weird like a Void Ray, which there are a couple of all-ins you could do with a Void Ray.
Well, confirms now. Pylon's going to come down.
Oh.
Does he... What? Do you photon overcharge this?
I think he's gonna photon overcharge it and try and kill
each other.
Bales pylon.
Well, he could try and kill the pylon, or he could try and catch the Oracle as it leaves.
Maybe.
I think that the Oracle would survive, though.
I was gonna send
that is gonna be really awkward.
This is so awkward.
Cancel the second pylon, maybe. No? Still let it finish or whatever. The overcharge is more necessary at home. Yes, there's a couple of stalkers, but he wants to make sure that this does not kill all of his workers. He did pull the ones he had transferred over back from the natural base, so playing super duper safe.
I'm gonna lose a couple of his pylons. Unless he goes over there to overcharge him. Okay.
I really would have loved if Bales just like reacted to this mothership core being so aggressive by getting a Phoenix or something and just killing this mothership core. That would have actually done a lot of damage.
So this is a little bit more akin to what we had seen in the past for what PvP was. He's gonna get the mothership core.
Oh my god. That shouldn't have happened.
No, it should not have happened. I agree, but he'll kill the Stargate. There's no more overcharge. So he'll kill the Stargate for this. He did lose 3 probes to 2 oracles, but I mean, when you've killed a mothership core, you don't mind losing a couple probes. I can't believe the damage on this, by the way, is enough to knock down Stargate so quickly through 2 photon overcharges.
Power photon overcharge.
This is so awkward. Well, Oracles, at least he does keep both of them alive and are going to be able to dart around. And of course, in Legacy of the Void, you get those stasis wards, which I have seen players use more and more frequently, but Revelation really going to be the big thing. And that's going to allow Bales to just have that extra bit of information to use so that he can transition to the best of his capabilities.
So stasis wards are coming down. They're like, I'll catch HuK's army as it walks across the map. And HuK says, I have no intention of walking anywhere. I'm going to warp across the map.
Yeah. This will time out kind of nicely with Blink, especially if it has Chrono into it. Now, those Blink Stalkers, they're actually seen by Bales. So staying behind, just waiting, not, showing that he's going to move across the map is pretty smart right now. Bales is just not scouting his third base anytime soon, apparently.
You know what just occurs to me that makes no sense about Protoss?
What?
3 galaxies away,
Oh.
you can warp in a unit
Oh.
to your new battlefield. But from this
Yeah?
part of the battlefield to this part of the battlefield, nope, you gotta walk.
No, there's a very legitimate reason for that. It requires specific technology at the start point, and you don't easily have the capabilities of deploying that starting technology.
Well, for such an advanced race, you'd think they'd figured that shit out.
They would if they didn't have their entire homeland invaded by the Zerg, and they didn't have to deal with all kinds of other shit.
Get mind
Anyways,
controlled. Spoiler alert. This photon overcharge is going to be nice to stop the attack. 7 probes died from those oracles while this goes on, but HuK is looking to get up here. The problem is HuK doesn't have an army supply lead coming into this. There's no brute forcing this, and while Blink is certainly nice, Bales will have his in due time. I actually think Bales is in a much better position. Not only is he up a ton of
Whoa.
workers, but HuK had no chance of taking on that army.
What's the second cybernetics core? You just anticipate losing the first one?
Maybe he thought that was gonna be a lot more all in than
yeah.
it was. That's actually not a terrible choice, but it is a waste of money, of course.
All right.
well, you can do the super duper late game carrier transition +1/+1.
Yeah, you know.
This is
Okay,
kind of cool.
fair.
I do like that he put a stock over here to clean this up. Not imperative to kill these pylons, but it would supply block Bales.
Hmm.
Oh, that
Um,
sucker gets away.
We'll also catch the gateway here finally as they both plant down their thirds. I'm sure HuK is planning on it.
I think he's
actually,
got
there's-
Yeah.
Fails, you do realize
4 more
you do
pylons.
realize this is okay. Okay.
I think he's a bit hesitant because there's an oracle right there. He doesn't want to send a probe out to have it sniped over and over and over again.
Like he throws on 4 pylons because I guess he recognized one who's gonna get supply blocked. Sure, but that's fine. But all in the same location looks like almost it was defensive, but you're natural. It's very odd. Now looking to throw on the third base, but a lot later than Bales.
Is he looking? Okay, yeah, he's starting to probe up again. There was a little while where he was cutting worker production, so I was thinking that maybe he was foregoing that third base. But yeah, HuK is resuming it. He's getting out War Prism. He's getting out Dark Shrine. And hopes to bring himself a little bit further back in this game.
That's another moment where the English language really sucks. Because foregoing for us obviously means you're not doing it, but it kind of sounds like if you're a not native English speaker, like, well, yes, he's going for an exit.
In the future, yeah.
Oh,
well.
English, you're
Go.
such a terrible language.
Beautiful.
That's a.
But thank you
rough
guys all for
phrase
speaking
anyone
it
who's
and tuning
dyslexic.
in.
They're
Double
making
Dark
assumptions.
Shrines.
There might be people who don't speak English who are watching.
Yeah, and there's people who are muted on the cast, or muted the cast watching. What's your point? I was saying thank you to the people in English for watching the stream.
Can you say it
Oh, I see.
in Korean?
Annyeong.
No, you know it. It's like my name.
Oh, the zombie grub. Zamnida. Alright,
Oh,
War Prism in the main. There's a pretty big attack down the middle of the map, and once again, HuK doesn't have the army supply to actually take this on. Those overcharges are scary as hell, but these are DTs looking for some action. Seeing 2 cannons in that base, though. Oh, and loses the War Prism with both DTs. Detection from the observer is here, and HuK loses his Hail Mary pass, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, Blink is done for Bales.
5 immortals.
Second-
5 immortals.
Oh god.
Second Hail Mary for HuK might just be able to be like being able to use those force fields, and hey, even almost gets to snipe off on that observer. If he snipes off that observer, that will delay this push in for a little bit.
I don't know, man. I still just look at 5 in immortals, and I'm like, yeah, you wait for the overcharge to end, and then just go A move.
Almost lose the mothership
Yeah.
core.
Well, HuK is gonna buy himself a little bit of time as Bales sits back for a little bit. Is he going for? I feel like he's trying to. Oh, he's trying to set off the immortal shields. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, put
That's
barrier
actually
on
really
cooldown.
smart. That's a really great way to buy time.
Of course, not entirely and solely relying on the barrier ability. The immortals just hit so damn hard, as we see. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't even blink into that many immortals. Like, immediately blinking out.
Yeah.
4 DTs coming in somewhere for Bales, actually, whereas HuK looks like he's going to try and get up 2 disruptors, which will certainly help if they're actually able to get out.
Sneaky inside the Warp Prism. HuK does not have cannons like Bales does, actually, so these might work pretty well. And if HuK has to pull the army back to respond to this, then boom, they push into the natural. So he's going to make sure that he can't pull back to deal with this. And Bales is going to push in. Bit of a bait. Don't look at me in your main. Boom, DTs. He's going to focus on the
man,
robo.
they land. Yeah, they land next to the robo. If they manage to snipe off that that robotic facility before an observer comes out, there are no observers out on the map for HuK right now. He
HuK
actually
has
doesn't
no
have
detection.
detection.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, it's gonna. I still think like, despite the good control, like HuK's taking a fight he shouldn't be able to take. Like that should have been so one-sided Bales. But the DTs are destroying everything else behind this. So this is still gonna be game. GG. Ties up the series 1-1.
Yeah, after a scouted proxy gateway too.